Good morning, dear students. So yesterday I gave you some of the handouts, in the form of PDF. I've shared with you in the campus here related to your chapter 1 from geography, that is natural resources. So today let us listen, let us see to it what is natural resources. So please pay attention when the class is going on, and supposingly you're not in handy with the book, go take the book and then listen to the explanation so that you can mark down the points when I explain, as I'll be telling you various points to underline, or you can even use the highlighter or pencil. Do not use pen in the textbook. Okay, so let us go straight away to the chapter natural resources. Okay, natural. What do you mean by natural? Nature. As simple as that. Resources. What is resources? If I give you the simplest definition, that means anything that we have around us, anything which exists around us, provided it satisfies our needs. Okay, so in simple term, if I say anything which satisfy our needs, but again at the same time, remember, it must be like technologically accessible. Okay, technologically accessible. It must be, economically feasible, and also culturally acceptable. Okay, there's three conditions: anything which satisfy our needs, but technologically accessible, economically feasible, and culturally acceptable. That is termed as a resource. Now for example, if I tell you, uh, say, all right, let me give an example. We have river nearby us, right? River Brahmaputra, the longest river in our country. And we all know that water, that what is a chemical compound, that H2 or something like that, right? I'm not so good in science. So, like, I hope you guys know. So, hydrogen 2 or oxygen 1, something like that. So, we know that water contains oxygen, or it has oxygen in it. But to separate that oxygen from the water so that it can be used for the human being, it can be used for the other living being, as because we know nowadays the amount, okay, of oxygen in our atmosphere is getting lesser day by day. Why? Because of us, we human being, because of you, because of me, right? We want various motor vehicles, we are what, cutting down all the plants, trees, we want big buildings, roads, bridges. Fine, you think that is development, but no, my dear, that is not development. Why? Because in the process of development, we are hampering our future, we are hampering the nature, so that cannot be called as a development. Development is something which doesn't hamper your future, which doesn't, hamper the nature, or because of you someone else should not be in trouble, someone else should not face issue. That is called development. In fact, that is called sustainable development. So today what we are having, it is not sustainable development. And as a result, the amount of oxygen, this carbon dioxide, various factories, vehicles, motor vehicles, emitting these different types of harmful poisonous gases, and we people, we are having lack of oxygen. I think you are going to the news channel what is happening day in and day out, in our country because of this pandemic. So now, when we talk about these resources, you might, as I told you, that anything which satisfy our needs is called resources. But you also will have to add that it must be technologically accessible, it must be economically feasible, and at the same time culturally acceptable. As I was giving you the example of the hydrogen and oxygen which is found in water, but we know oxygen and hydrogen both are available in the water. But till date, I don't know, like in the future, by tomorrow or in the coming days, if scientists come up with such type of device or technology, but till date we don't know, we don't have any know-how, okay, how to separate that oxygen from the water so that it can be used for the other human being or for the other living organism. So that means even though that is a resource which is lying in front of us, immense of water we have, we know that the world is, three-fourths of the world is covered with water, okay, but that oxygen is of no use even though it is lying down in front of us, because we are unable to use it. We don't know how to take out that oxygen from this, what do you call, or how to separate the oxygen from the water. So remember that, just if you just write that anything which satisfy our needs is called resources. No, anything which satisfy our needs, provided those three clauses. All right. Now, resources are basically of three types. Okay, one is natural, that we get from the nature, and the second one is human, the third one is human made. Human made resource is also called artificial resource, resources which are made by human being. Now, and naturally, nature. Now let me tell you about the second example, the second type of resource, that is human. Okay. Now, how come human beings are a resource? Yes, human beings are a great resource. In fact, I say that human beings are the greatest of all resources that we have. Now, today, when we are sick, we go to hospital. The doctors, they treat us. Are they robots? They're human beings. So they are a resource for us. Imagine without doctor, there's a big hospital. Okay, you have all the various type of infrastructure, all the advancement tools, facilities, but no human being, no doctor. Robots are there. Can you trust them? Because they are machines. They don't have feelings. They don't have emotions. Human being. The only thing which makes human beings separate from the machines is the emotions. No matter, nowadays robotic science, technology has gone way far than it was in the earlier days, but they can never replace human being. So this is just one of the examples that how come human beings serve as a resource. Or many a times, the teachers are a resource to you. Why do you come to the school, right? For learning, for knowing things which you don't know, for enhancing your knowledge, okay, to become a good human being. And who gives you those knowledge? The teachers. So, and what are the teachers? They are a human being, right? So human beings, these are just some simple examples which I gave you, that how come human beings serve as a resource to us. Okay. Now, for example, this what do you call this our the present day science, they have become so advanced that they are inventing nowadays this driverless cars, but you cannot trust them. Recently I saw in the news, this what do you call that, Tesla. There's a company called Tesla of this motor vehicle. Some two or three of them, person, I don't know in which country, I just forgot, but I remember the main gist. So they were giving, it's a driverless car, and two of them, they were sitting on that car, and they gave it on some autopilot, some technological system they had. But it was later on found that they met with an accident. This vehicle, which was driverless, which was based on computer technology, went and hit somewhere else. But whereas if some human, I'm not saying that when human being drive vehicle, they don't meet with an accident. No, I don't mean to say that. But at least we can trust them. And when human being drives vehicle for us, fine, vehicle is a machine. But who is driving? Human being. What are they? They are resource to us. Why? They are fulfilling our needs. I don't know how to drive a vehicle, so I have a person who will drive me to so and so place. I hope you're getting me how human being serves as a resource. So I repeat, the three resources, that is natural, which we get from the nature, like air, water, oxygen. That is the natural resources. Human, as I told you, and human made, artificial resources. Like now, I'm sitting under the fan, right? This fan is human made. This is an artificial. I'm getting air. So this is a human made resource or an artificial resource. I hope you got it. So let me go to the text now. I'll just go through the introduction. Have you ever wondered about the things that you use in your daily life? Where do they come from? Anything that is found in nature and has some value or use for human is called a resource. Underline that. Whatever we use becomes a resource only when its properties are recognized. Some resources also become economically valuable with time. Thus, time and technology are the two important factors that are responsible for changing things. Underline that. The two important factors which are responsible for changing things, that is time and technology. Today in this pandemic, you're sitting at your home and we are able to share the knowledge through the medium of technology. So, and how this technology came up is because of time. Imagine we sitting in 1940s 50s without any cell phone, without any technology, and this pandemic occurred. How we will share the knowledge to one another? Maybe I'll have to write a letter or a postcard to you. By the time this postcard reaches you, it will take 1 week, and by the time you reply me your doubt, another 1 week is over. Correct? So technology, time and technology, these are the two important factors, because and which is responsible for the change that is occurring around us. In fact, many of the available resources are being overused. Yes, this is another important point. We human being, we have got a tendency of taking things for granted. We feel that resources are a free gift of nature. No, no, my dear, it is not a free gift. And as a result, what do? We use it in an a kind of instead of using it, I would say that we overutilize it. more than what is actually required, because it is free. Nature is giving a free of cost. And today you see what is happening to the people. We are suffering. This is which month? April, right? Yeah. Many of the places, even today also, you find, as if you people are here nearby the locality, and even if you come from different area, you get to know this dry season, right? Water gets dried up. Now, water is a natural free resource. So what do? Where we need one bucket of water to do certain things, we will splash 2-3 bucket of water, right? It's my well, my hand pump, my wish. Who are you to say? I'm not taking water from your compound, from your premises. It's in my boundary. So I'm ready. I'm free to use as much as water I can, even if I don't need it. And now today, what is happening? Dry season. People have to buy water. Something which was free from nature, today we have to pay for it. Correct? Just one example I gave you. Likewise, there are many such examples. So as a result, because of our overutilization, because of our overuses, today they are getting exhausted. Resources are getting exhausted. And very soon a day will come, it has already started, as you have seen in the news. Air. Today people are buying air. Oxygen cylinders. Correct? And what is that called? Water. There was a time when you never had to buy any water. If you go, no matter wherever you are going, you just step into anybody's house, a glass of water is always available for you. But today, when we go out into the market, what happens? We have to buy that water bottle 10 rupees, 20 rupees. Something which is free, we need to buy today. Air. Something which is free, we need to carry oxygen cylinders today. Right? Why this is happening? Overutilization. We are using it in an unwisely manner. Next, under types of resources, as I told you that resources can be of 3 types, that is the natural, human and human made, and the pattern of resource utilization helps us to make the right choices in resource development to create wealth and sustain further development. So today when we talk about development, when we talk about economy, this also depends upon resource. It depends how you make use of the resources. Now for example, yeah, online class, it's a resource for you. So your development, from the development of getting promoted from this class to the next class during the next academic session, it will depend how you make use of this resource. I hope you are getting it. Online class, let me keep the phone away, I will just mark the attendance, keep it aside. During the time of clarification period, I will submit the homework. This is how, if this is how you use the resource, online class resource, you will know what will be your development, right, my dear children, during the examination. I hope you are getting me what I am trying to tell you. So your development depends upon how you utilize your resources, the pattern of utilization. Even when it comes to creation of wealth, some people, you might have seen, yes, some are born rich, exclude them. But some people, those who belong from a very poor family, you find them within no span of time, or say after a certain period, they really have good economic condition in the society. How? Did they get some, what do you call this? What is that? I forgot the terminology. Yeah, Aladdin ka Chirag or something like that. Yeah, there is a saying, there is a cartoon animated series, Aladdin. Did they get anything as such? No, nothing as such. Then how come? It's because whatever resources they had utilized those resources in the best possible way they could. And today, economical condition, they have changed their economical condition. So it is all depend upon you, me, how we use our resources. So let us see a detail of natural resources. Natural resources are those resources that occur naturally and support life. I already told you, such as water, air, and sunlight. Natural resources include minerals, fossil fuels, forests, etc., which satisfy human wants. Already explained just now, right? Now, and these are the things like air, water, sunlight. These are such things which we need for our daily activities. And beside them, the plants and factories also need water. the plants that we have, and even the big industries, factories. You see, without water, it won't be possible for them to run. And we know water is what? It's a natural resource. So similarly, when we extract mineral from the rock, or you can say iron ore or coal, okay, they also become a resource for us. But this mineral, this iron ore, this coal, from where do we extract them? From nature. However, in ancient times, when humans did not have the technology to extract the minerals, the same rocks were not a resource as they had no value. Underline that. I'll explain you why. Why am I telling you to underline? However, I repeat, in ancient times, when humans did not have the technology to extract the minerals, the same rock were not a resource as they had no value. Okay, remember this couple of minutes back when I started this class, I told you that anything which satisfies our needs is termed as a resource provided they are technologically accessible, economically feasible, and culturally acceptable. So now look at this. The same rock today, which is a resource for us because we get iron ore, coal, mineral, so many various things from that. But there was a time when this rock was just a piece of stone, which was of no use. Why? Because we didn't have the technology to extract this iron ore, coal, minerals, and all these resources from the rock. So it was valueless, useless. Why? We didn't have the technology. Are you getting it? So technology plays a very important role when it comes to resources, or else the very same resource will be of no value. Next paragraph. Some natural resources that can be immediately utilized are air, water, fish, fresh fruits, and vegetables. Underline that. Resources which can be immediately utilized. Other resources have to be processed to make them useful to man. The iron or copper required for various industries is obtained by smelting their ores, so it's a process. Okay, underline that. What is the process of iron or copper, which to make it usable? It's smelting, so that it can be transformed into their by smelting their ores. That is how we get the iron or copper. Even the fuel that we use to run our vehicles, or the gas which is required to cook food, has to be processed before it can be used. Now this process, if we are not able to make use, or if we don't know the process of how to utilize this resource, then these resources will be of no use. And in order to make use of these resources, during that process, we need the help of what? Technology. And that is how these resources acquire the value and it fulfill our needs. Now, resources can be classified on in various categories, but these categories depend upon the origin of the resource, the stage of development, renewability, distribution, and availability. So 5 criteria. Okay. So resources, I repeat, can be classified on the basis of origin, on the basis of renewability, on the basis of development, availability, and what is called distribution. All right. Now, the various classification of resources, we will discuss it in the next class. Okay. Go through this, what has been explained now. Read the text. Okay. Many of you have got this tendency of going for what is it called? Guidebooks or something like that, or getting this ready-made notes at times from Google, from internet. No, you don't have to follow this Google Baba. Become your own Baba. All right. Read the textbook. This is the best resource for you. And the points which I told you to underline those points, highlight it. Questions will be from the textbook. It won't be from internet. It won't be from Google. See you in the next class. Until then, stay at home. Don't loiter around. Okay? And make use of this online resource wisely. I'm repeating it once again, so that it helps you in your development. Okay? God bless you.